It's a song about anti-Semitism. I feel like people hear the lyrics and really connect to it. It's not like a one day, like a We Are the World kind of peace anthem. It's a song that hopefully our people can rally around and feel empowered by. It's a song for hope for the Jewish people to unite and to conquer.
This is a Visegrad 24 series about the Israel-Hamas War.
Hello, Matisyahu. Thank you so much for coming here.
Absolutely.
We want to ask you a few questions. The first one is, how were you personally affected from October 7th? Can you tell us a little bit about that day?
Yeah, October 7th, I woke up, it was a Saturday. I had a concert, a show at a reggae festival in Las Vegas. Woke up and my son was studying in Israel for the year. So after I heard what happened, I was kind of like, it was Shabbat, so he keeps the Sabbath. So I was like waiting for him to call. But in the meantime, just sort of like in a state of sort of just like bewilderment. And we're just like walking around and just sort of unsure about, you know, like how to perform and what to do. So I sort of like try to reach out to another Jewish artist from that festival who was like a singer for like a big band, reggae band, to see if maybe we could collaborate or just talk to find like another Jew, you know, who's in that scene. And person was like, not interested, you know. Found out that person is like not wanting anyone to really know that he's Jewish.
Wow.
I went out on stage and then someone had an Israeli flag. I brought the Israeli flag out on stage. And it was a powerful performance. It was like fueled by some kind of like fire that I carry.
And since that day, how did you feel like the music industry as a whole reacted to this event, specifically to the Nova Festival, and what happened to young people there?
People were really upset, you know. As time has gone on, it seems like no one even really remembers that October 7th is like a real event that happened. It's like the whole focus became like, oh, well, what did they do to deserve it? It's like a woman who gets like raped or something, and then they say like, oh, she must have deserved it. That's like the attitude from like everyone, it feels like, in America. And a lot of Jews that have no connection to Israel, that have either never been to Israel or are intermarried or surrounded with non-Jews, are really confused and insecure and unsure about their identity, you know, as Jews and who they are and how they feel, because they're not getting sympathy about it or anyone even asking them about it. You know, they're just hearing their friends talk about Free Palestine and all of that. So it's definitely, I feel like there's been a like huge shift, a paradigm shift in the world after October 7th. And if you're Jewish, it's like it either like hits you in the way like how it hit me and my wife, where we immediately like just instinctively felt that our own family had been attacked. And that it's us, and, you know, can't stop thinking about it, can't stop dreaming about it.
Do you see a lot of followers like leaving you after it happened?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, comments and people leaving and stuff.
Can you tell us a little bit about the song that you wrote? You actually wrote it before October 7th, but it's very relevant for today, and you're now here in Israel also to create the clip for it.
It's a song about anti-Semitism, you know, and you know, it's sort of like hopefully I feel like people will hear the lyrics and really connect to it, like young people especially. It's like a hip-hop song, so it's got like a more aggressive kind of like attitude towards it. It's not like a one day, like a We Are the World kind of peace anthem, you know. It's a song that hopefully our people can rally around and feel empowered by, you know. And you know, I try to give a little bit of the history of like anti-Semitism throughout the years in the song and the lyrics. But it's a song for hope, you know, for the Jewish people to like unite and to conquer.
Yeah. Did it change a little bit after October 7th happened?
I didn't need to.
No, you didn't need to.
And it's interesting, like since I've been here, and even like after October 7th, I played some shows in the States at some of the colleges like Cornell and Columbia, where there's been like huge anti-Semitism, and the Jewish students are like afraid to go to class. And we went and played a bunch of those, and like as I'm singing those like songs like Warrior or you know, Lord Raise Me Up, or like a lot of H. Tamid, like a lot of the lyrics that I wrote like early on in my career in particular, that are kind of like really dealing with the Jewish people and the crisis of like, for me, it was a spiritual crisis, you know. And so for me, when I'm talking about it in spiritual terms, like warrior fighting for your soul, or Lord raise me up from the ground, you know, it's like metaphysical, but metaphors rather. But like now as I'm singing it, you know, like Lord raise me up from the ground, like the ground is the tunnels. That's what we're talking about.
Wow.
Like take our people out.
And how is it for you now being here in Israel on the ground?
Oh, it's been like incredible and intense and sad and overwhelming, and it's just been a flood of emotions, and but it feels like we're really just so happy that we came, you know. I think for every Jew in America or outside of Israel, coming to Israel right now, if you can get a chance to come, is going to be a major life decision for you, because the impact that it's had on me and has been tremendous, like night and day. And I'm someone who was already like posting about it and thinking about it and hurt, you know, feeling the pain of it. But hearing stories firsthand and seeing the places, being there, it's like a whole different thing.
You know, in the beginning of the war, it was so scary and unknown. I remember it was hard for me personally to, I don't know, I couldn't even think of watching TV for like a month, but even listening to music was a little bit like weird at that moment. But now I feel like it's very helpful for a lot of people. What do you think is the place of music in a war? And
well, yeah, I mean, it's like, it could be a lot of things, you know. I mean, sometimes you need distraction to some extent, you know, but I don't consider music to be a distraction. I think that's more like turning on the TV or watching a movie, but sometimes you need to like just turn off, I would think. Music, on the other hand, is like, for me, is like, not like party music, you know. It's like music is like everything to me. It's like blood, you know. It's like the blood in it's the thing that keeps you going. So I think if you're like looking at music like that and like treating music with like, you know, like a hush for it, is that the right word?
Hush, yeah.
A hush for it. Then for, you know, it's going to play a different role than if you're just like someone who just like puts on a song and like dances around or whatever, you know.
yeah. And do you think that now, because of the war, maybe, do you feel more like Jews feel very isolated because of a lot of anti-Semitism and people misunderstanding Israel and Judaism, but on another level, we need to build more like allies and like connect to other people, because we are fighting the same fight against evil and again. Yeah.
It's not necessarily like the best route to go, to just like turn your back on everybody, you know, but it's definitely like an instinctive place that I feel like a lot of Jews go to when you feel like this, like hopeless, that like the world understands or cares, or actually that they don't want to all kill you, you know, and that's how it like feels for Jews right now. And so like, so yeah, it's like we want to try to like explain ourselves. So we want to try to like, you know, build those allies and those connections. And there are people out there that are really, I think, good at doing that. We need more people doing that. I mean, I'm going out on a tour right now through America, like playing like 55 cities. And my crowd has, over the years, become less and less Jewish, you know. Mm-hmm. So, you know, the way I see it, like, part of my job is to go out there and let people know about what's going on in the way that I do it through music, you know. And try to get people to feel something, as opposed to like just tell them or break down facts or give them information or make a great clip. It's like everyone has a specialty, and I feel like my specialty is like more coming from the heart.
Yeah.
And just trying to like be a Jew out in the world who is authentic and helping people to feel something, you know?
Yeah.
And so I've always tried to stay out of politics and stuff, but certain things, like, this is not about politics. This is like survival of the Jewish people. So I will for sure have like Israeli flags donned and my Golani flag up there in my yellow chair. And
can you tell about the yellow chair?
I mean, yeah, we got the yellow chair at the hostage with the hostages, the survivors, and the yellow chair represents the hostages that are not home yet, I believe in. And I want to remind people about that, because it's like, people forgot, or they think it didn't happen, like the Holocaust didn't happen or something, you know?
Yeah.
So I want people to see that chair and be like, what's the yellow chair? What's with the yellow chair?
Yeah.
So, good.
What did you feel yesterday when you were speaking to those Nova survivors, all musicians, loving music, and just young people?
That would be like my worst nightmare coming true. And I've been to many music festivals. I've played at them. I've attended them. I know these like communities, these type of people that come together. They're like the most open, loving people. They're there for peace. They're there they were totally unprotected. Mm-hmm. And then just the worst thing you could ever imagine, like, actually happened. And they survived. I mean, spending time with them was really, really potent for me, because like that was the first thing I thought about, was like putting myself in those shoes. Like, I'm at a festival at 6 o'clock in the morning, sun's coming up. It's like this like loving environment. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden you're being rained down on by bullets and like running for your life. I mean, the stories that you hear like firsthand, we're talking to two young women in wheelchairs, but the woman I was talking to the second, she was like shot in the leg like 9 times and like still running, and they jumped out of the bomb shelter when, they shot the handle. So they got shot on the leg, and then they like jump out of the window. They see, like, look out, they see 50 terrorists out there, like smoking and just hanging out. Yeah. And they like jump out and they start running. And the terrorists like don't even chase them. It's just like target practice. It's like fucking Game of Thrones or something. Like the most barbaric shit you could think of. And they're just like laughing, like shot her in the shoulder. She gets up, still keep running, and eventually found like a little like hole to bury herself in and survived. But like in that process, she's like running, she's getting shot, getting up, running some more, getting shot, running some more. It's like unimaginable. And it happened, like it just happened. And already people like forgot about it or don't want to think about it, or just think that like there's some kind of justification for that.
How do you see the future? Are you optimistic, pessimistic when it comes to Israel, the West, Jewish people? Do you think that there is a one day coming?
Oh man, I don't know. I feel like, Israel is going to continue to be Israel. I feel like they're going to fight the war, and it's going to be long, grueling, it's not going to stop anytime soon. They're going to try to eliminate, the enemies who are trying to destroy us. And the world's going to like either get it or they're not going to get it, or like, I don't know. It's like no solutions. No one knows any solutions, It's like you see like pictures of like, 4-year-old kids like pretending to stab Jews. It's like, how do you? Yeah. And it's like a whole millions of people like that. And you're surrounded by them in Israel. How do you like? I don't know how could you possibly? But we are survivors and strong people. I do believe in that. Like, that's the thing, I don't feel hope like for the world, to be honest, but I feel hope like when I see like being here, being with Jews and Israelis, and seeing like the amount of like light that our people have, and like tremendous character, is very hopeful, because it's like we are the shit. Actually, we are the shit. All this time of like, people don't like Jews, or they think that the chosen people, and this, that, and the other thing. For a while too, I'm like, what is all this shtick of like the chosen? Why do we have all that? It's like, but you take a minute to think about it, and we are like an incredible group.
Thank you so much for coming today, Matisyahu, and good luck tonight in the show.
Thank you.